Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and tonight I just got back from watching It Lives Inside, which is the brand new horror movie about a teenage American Indian girl who, she kind of does that standard thing of like, oh, I don't want to follow my family's customs and their rituals and all that, and I don't even speak Hindi anymore, and I'm only talking English, and I kind of want to become fully Americanized because I want to fit in better. And then she also had this friend that she used to hang out with a whole lot, but the friend didn't want to do what she did, and, kind of Americanize herself. So they kind of drifted apart. But then the friend has this mysterious jar that she's hanging on to the whole time. And basically what ends up happening is that inside this jar is this Indian demon called a pistache, something like that. And basically it's just this thing that has now taken the friend and kidnapped her, and she's gone. And I do appreciate the fact that the friend is not just dead right away. Usually the person who starts the curse, or the person who introduces it to the movie, they die right away, and that's the triggering incident of how the main character becomes involved in the story. However, this time the friend is just taken, and we actually kind of go back to the friend every once in a while throughout the movie as she's captured in this room and being kept there by this demon. So it sort of adds this ticking clock of oh, the friend's gonna die soon, the main character better hurry up and figure out how to stop this. So I do appreciate that kind of element to it. And of course, obviously this movie is very much involved in Indian culture and learning to embrace your heritage and stuff like that, because that is how ultimately she's going to learn how to solve this, how to defeat this demon. And I also do appreciate that it ends with it feels like with movies The Smile, or what was that other one? I don't even remember its name. The Talk to Me, that's the one. But usually these movies kind of end with the main character ending up having to die at the end. Maybe they defeat the demon or the curse or whatever, but they end up having to die because, some horror movies get like that. This one, however, it ends with them being able to sort of solve the problem and just live with the demon but keep it under check, kind of like the Babadook, where okay, it's not gone. And of course there's always going to be this looming threat of it getting loose again, but I'm going to keep it under check by having to do certain things. And now it's just it's inside the main character, but you are now the vessel for this demon. So yeah, in that kind of interesting way, I appreciate that it's okay, you're doing something a little different here. It's not following the standard beats entirely. However, having said all of that, and as much as I appreciate the fact that it covers the whole, heritage thing, and being a teenager who wants to just fit in with everyone else, and so you kind of lost your way a little bit, you disconnected from who you are. I will say ultimately this movie is it's not as scary as it could have been. It's and my thing is I'm not even necessarily saying cheap jump scares or anything, but it has those moments, it has a couple of key moments where I'm okay, this is really good and this is really good, but those are, unfortunately, there's a lot of time in between those moments, and it's just kind of going through the motions that we've seen before over and over again with these similar movies, except this one I found to be a little bit quieter, a little bit slower paced, just not as, you're not as constantly on the edge of your seat. There are cool moments you see in the trailer where the creature's eyes are in the closet, and when you flash the light over it, it disappears. We've seen stuff like that with Lights Out, but it was really effective. But they only do that one time, and I'm man, they I don't know. It feels like they're. It feels like there was stuff cut out of this movie. It feels like there were scarier moments, or maybe some more jump scares or something, right? The other thing I think is maybe we needed more of a body count. I think maybe if they had introduced one or two more people that you could kill off in horrific ways, you could have had more things happening in those slower beats, because yeah, ultimately it is just like okay, she can't tell anyone about what she's experiencing or the stuff that she's seeing, because they'll think that she's crazy. And then she gets this friend who helps her figure this all out, but then that friend gets attacked and now they're dead and now she's on her own. And it's like yeah, we've seen this, like this has happened in a million of these horror movies. It's always the case of like, I can't tell you, you won't believe me, you won't get, like, honestly, I want, it would be refreshing at this point if the cursed individual who's experiencing crazy stuff that only they can see, it would be refreshing if they just came out with it and be like, okay, I know this sounds crazy, but here is every single plot detail that's happened in this movie so far. And I know you're not gonna believe me now, but when you see something, at the very least, you'll be prepared because you'll know exactly what you're looking at because I just told you. You know, like that would, you know. So I do feel like we're kind of overdue for a refreshing, like, I don't even know what you want to call this genre. You know, this there's a genre of like cursed individuals filmed, you know, where like the protagonist is cursed and they're the only ones who can see it and everyone else thinks they're crazy. And usually it ends with them dying. This time it didn't, but you know, it's always in a situation where it's like they can't live a normal life now because reasons, you know. So I don't know. I think that's kind of a pet peeve I'm developing now, where I'm like, okay, just tell them. Like, you don't have to sit here and be like, you won't believe me. You'll think I'm crazy. I can't tell you. You won't get it. I'm like, just say it. Just even at this point, right? Like you're seeing people die. And all this crazy stuff is happening, you might as well just say it. Like, who cares if they think you're crazy? At the very least, the information is out there, you know? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, so unfortunately, although this does have some good things going for it, it's just not as scary. It wasn't getting that reaction out of me, you know? Even like The Nun 2 was kind of a cheaper movie that, you know, that, again, that's another one where we've seen a lot of these stuff before. That one, at the very least, even if some of them were cheap, they had a lot of jump scares, and a lot of them did work, you know? So, like, at the very least, I was, like, really engaged with the movie, because I'm like, oh god, it's happening, like, you know, what's gonna happen next? This one, I was kind of like, okay, and then they're gonna read the book, and then they're gonna find this thing, and then they're gonna talk to someone who Google something and they find new information to figure out how to defeat the demon. I'm like, yeah, I've seen this before. I guess that's just really the unfortunate part, is that like this could have been something really unique, you know, with like the whole Indian heritage, you know, angle of it. This could have been like a really unique thing, but unfortunately it really just kind of felt like you took one of your standard Conjuring spin-offs and you just kind of painted some Indian heritage over that instead of letting it be its own thing, you know? So I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, did you see It Lives Inside? What did you guys think? Are you a little disappointed? I was expecting more from the trailer. The trailer was really promising, and I don't feel like it lived up to the trailer. But anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.